You know that feeling, that deep, nagging sense that you're meant for something more, but you just can't quite put your finger on what it is? Well, you're not alone. It's one of the most universal human quests, the search for purpose. And today, we're going to explore a framework that might just help you find yours.
Yeah, it can feel exactly like that, right? You're moving, you're busy, but where are you actually going? It's like being on a journey with no map. And man, is it frustrating. But what if there was a way to find your bearings, to discover your own personal true north?
So think of this explainer as our map-making session. We're going to build that map together. We'll start with the quest for purpose itself, then break down 3 really crucial reference points: your wound, your voice, and your burden. And then we'll see how they all come together in what we'll call your purpose zone.
All right, let's dive right in. Section 1, the quest for purpose. Now, here's the core idea, and it's a big one. Purpose isn't something you just stumble upon by accident, like finding a lost key. Nope, it's something you reveal by connecting the dots of who you already are.
So think of it like this. You, right now, already have a compass inside of you. It's got 3 distinct points, and when you learn to read them together, they point directly to your true north. And that's exactly what we're here to do. Learn how to read that compass.
Okay, so our first compass point, this one is powerful. The source material calls it the wound. And it all starts with a very, very personal question for you. What truly, deeply breaks your heart?
Now, I know what you're thinking. Wound sounds negative, right? But in this framework, it's the absolute opposite. It is not a weakness. It's the very seed of your calling. It's that thing out there in the world, that injustice, that pain, that deficiency, that just stirs something deep inside you. It's a mix of compassion and maybe even a little righteous anger.
And this idea, it has really deep roots. You see it, for example, in the Gospel of Matthew. It talks about Jesus seeing the crowds and feeling this deep compassion because they were, and I quote, harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd. See, it wasn't just a casual observation. It was a powerful feeling that came from seeing a very specific kind of pain. That feeling, that's the starting point. And this isn't just some abstract theory either. History is absolutely filled with examples of this. Think about it. Moses, he saw the oppression of his people, and that became his mission. Nehemiah, he wept over the broken down walls of his city. And Jesus, he was pierced by the spiritual lostness of humanity. Every single one of these huge world-changing callings started with a specific wound.
So, let's bring it back to you. Where do you feel this? What's that one issue that makes you just stop in your tracks and think, someone has to do something about this? And then you hear that quiet, persistent whisper. Maybe that someone is me. That is your wound.
All right, that brings us to the second point on our compass. This one is called your influence, or simply the voice. And the question for this one is, how do you uniquely bring insight into the world?
Your voice. It's your natural, almost effortless area of gifting. It's that thing you just do. Maybe you're amazing at explaining complex stuff, or you give the best encouragement, or you can just see the solution to a certain type of problem. It's whatever people consistently come to you for. And you know what's funny? A lot of the time, other people recognize your voice before you do. It's so natural to you, you might just think, doesn't everyone do this?
There's a proverb that just nails this idea. It says a person's gift makes room for them. What that really means is your natural gifting, your voice, it literally creates its own opportunities. It carves out a space for you to have influence, to contribute in a way that only you can.
So how do you find it? You have to look for the patterns. Pay attention. What are people always asking your opinion about? What's the one thing that just comes easily to you but you see other people struggle with? And here's the big one. When you speak about a certain topic, do people lean in? Do they actually listen and maybe even act on what you said? That is your voice.
Seriously, take a moment and really think about that. And please, don't dismiss it just because it feels easy. That very ease, that's often the clearest sign that you've found a deep, natural gift. That's your platform. That's where your purpose can launch from.
Okay, so we have the wound, what breaks your heart. We have the voice, your unique gift. Now it's time to add the third and final point to our compass, your mission, which is also called the burden.
And again, just like with wound, don't let the word burden throw you off. This isn't some heavy negative weight. Think of it as a divine assignment. It's that one specific mission that just won't let you go. It's the thing that tugs at your heart in the quiet moments.
the thing that fuels your thoughts. It's this deep sense that your life is meant to make a real, tangible difference in one particular area.
Listen to the incredible specificity in this quote from the book of Luke. It's not a vague, "Oh, I want to help people." No, it's a crystal clear mission to proclaim good news to the poor. That level of clarity, that's what transforms a general wish into a powerful, life-defining burden.
So here's the ultimate clarifying question for you. I want you to forget about money, forget about time, forget about all the logistics for just a second. If absolutely nothing stood in your way, what is the one problem you would dedicate your entire life to solving? The answer, that's your burden.
Okay, we have our 3 points: the wound, the voice, and the burden. And this brings us to the most exciting part. This is where we find your purpose zone. It's the place where all 3 of these powerful indicators finally meet.
And here it is, the formula for purpose. When what breaks your heart, your wound, intersects with how you're uniquely gifted, your voice, and aligns with that mission you can't shake, your burden, boom, you're in your purpose zone. It's the beautiful spot where your pain meets your power to bring healing.
So how do we make this super practical? It's actually a pretty simple 4-step process. First, you've got to reflect. Write down your honest answers for your wound, your voice, and your burden. Second, look for the overlaps. What words, ideas, or groups of people keep popping up in all 3? Third, take those common themes and start forming a statement. And finally, number 4, you boil it all down into one clear, memorable sentence.
And to make it even easier, here's a template you can use to get started. It goes like this: I exist to, and then you put in an action word. Then you name the specific group or need you identified from your wound and burden, and you finish with by and describe how you'll use your voice to contribute. It's simple, it's concrete, and it's incredibly powerful.
So let's just put this all together one last time as a quick summary. Your wound. What breaks your heart? That reveals your compassion, and it points to the pain you're called to heal. Your voice. What do people ask your advice on? That reveals your natural influence and becomes your platform for contribution. And finally, your burden, the problem you feel you must solve. That reveals your divine mission and points you to your field of service.
And this really is the final, most important takeaway of all. You do not have to invent your purpose out of thin air. It's already there. It's woven into the very fabric of your life. It's in your pain, it's in your gifts, and it's in that thing that keeps you up at night. Your job isn't to create it. Your job is to read the map, to simply interpret the story that has already been written into you.